Okay, Chinese. One of the things that people don't know about Chinese, but that always makes their jaw drop when they find out, is that Chinese does not have an alphabet. It is apparently it is the only existing language in the modern world that does not have an alphabet. And you may wonder, well, how can they use Chinese script to communicate if it doesn't have an alphabet? Well, they're very clever. What they do is they include in a lot of their script, about 75% of their script, they include an element that represents a sound and an element that represents meaning. The meaning element is called a radical, and the sound element is like a phonetic, okay? And they will combine those in such a way that you won't get a letter but or a sound that you can connect to a letter, but what you will get is some approximation of what the sound could be. So for example, if I give an example, when you see sound elements being recycled between different words, you may not know what the tone is, because Chinese is a tonal language. You may not know what the tone is, but you will know what you will be able to approximate the sound. So here are a couple different words that include an element. Zhong, zhong, the element zhong, which means middle. You can tell that it's middle. It's very easy to see the stick going through the middle is in the middle. Right? So, and then we've got zhong, which means seed or kind or sort or species. We've got zhong, which means clock or o'clock. We have zhong, which means loyal, devoted, honest. Now, we don't necessarily know what the tone would be, but we would have some idea of what the basic foundational pronunciation would be. And then you've got slightly different examples of that, where the sound could be just slightly different, kind of like the difference between, like in English, you have, I think they're called gliders or sliders or something like that. So like P and B are sliders. So, and there are all kinds of other variations of that where you may get like the difference between something like, say, B and P, or a K sound and a G sound, that kind of thing. Or like, yeah, you may find that the initial sound is flexible. The initial sound is what is movable, whereas a stem may be more consistent. Okay, so there are examples of that, but this is just giving you a basic idea of how excuse me, of how they get around the fact that they don't have an alphabet. Excuse me, this video is just giving a basic idea of how they get around the fact that they don't have an alphabet. I think it's absolutely genius. And I know some people may be thinking, gosh, but it would be so much easier with an alphabet. Yeah, you're going to think that if you're thinking from your own cultural or linguistic frame of reference. But please bear in mind that every culture is different, every language is different. And if you have if you have a fixation on the rightness of your own linguistic perspective, it's going to be very difficult to do a language like Chinese. Okay, so you just have to be flexible in how you think about things and understand that there are many different ways of seeing the world. And I think Chinese offers one of the most fascinating windows into human life and understanding of human reality and, just reality in general. Okay, so I hope that was interesting, and on to the next video.